Hello and welcome back to Inktober. Sorry about that other video. I hadn't put the sound on. So anyway, it all should be working now. Just do a quick camera check. This one's working. And I'm just going to do a quick sound check as well. Showing us offline. It does take a little while to kick in, so I'll just wait for that a minute. In between time, I will just get up my reference photo, which I have just to the side here. I just need to make a couple of adjustments. A moment to my screen. Let's get him a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay. Just evens it out a bit. Well, I'm not showing us online at the moment. Just refresh my page. Okay. With me, folks. My computer's saying that I'm not online. So if that's the case, I'm talking to myself. Yep, showing us offline. Hello all, welcome to another Inktober. I did a stream earlier and this is the result. You saw me sketch this out and now I will be inking it. So I'm going to do my usual checks and just check whether everything is working. Sound's working. Oops. That's working. That camera's working, so we are set to go. Thank you for waiting. This is my third stream in the sense of the other two. The stream health wasn't good and it kept cutting out my end and not showing that I was live, but all seems to be working pretty well now. Alright, so I've got my reference photo, which is just here. I see what you see. In the top corner there. That can actually go like that. That's great. Alright, so I will just get comments up. So I can see your comments, and please say hi if you're watching. My stream rate is struggling a little bit at the moment, it keeps going red. So if you do have any cutting out issues, please do let me know. Okay, I wanted to get up the Inktober list. Oh, I've got it here. That's right. Good. Let's get you back up. So this is my this is my list for Inktober. So this one is number 10 and it's pattern, and of course this is a tiger, and there are many species of tiger that are on the critically endangered list and the endangered list. I will say a little bit more. You know, when I finish, I do a little bit of a write-up, and often that is quite informative of what we can do and how humans have impacted these particular animals. But I do know that habitat loss is one of them, as well as hunting, of course, and expanding villages out, I believe. Alright, okay, let's pop that back. So I have a completely clean palette. I have a new bigger palette here. I have 2 water containers. One is for the preliminary rinse and the other one is for clean water. I'm going to be using Dr. P.H. Martin's Bombay Indian inks, and I have 2 brushes here, but I also have a 3rd brush lurking about somewhere. In fact, I have more than that. I have lots of brushes lurking about. But if I need a bigger one, I have a bigger one too. I doubt I will be using a bigger one for this one because it's quite a lot of detail. So these are Billy Shoal. They are not synthetic brushes. I bought them before I become vegan. I don't buy non-vegan supplies if I can help it any longer. I have a kitchen sponge that I use just to wipe off most of the moisture or the excess ink. By the way, these are number 4 and number 2 sizes. The paper here is Moulin de Roy, and it is hot press watercolour paper, and it is sized 5.5 inches by 7.5 inches approximately. Some of them aren't quite exact. Alright, so as usual I will start on the grayscale side first, and I've already got some black in my spray bottle, so I'm just going to use that if I can find the thing. There it is. Give it a good old shake. Hello Janie, how are you? What time is it with you today? I'm always fascinated by the time delays. So this is stuck down with a bit of blue tack, by the way, which is why I'm pressing it. I'm just going to pop some of that in there. And I want to test out how dark that is. If you want to test out how dark that is, just get a scrap bit of paper. And yeah, okay, so that is quite dark. So I'm going to move across some of this black here. I've been putting out far too much ink lately. It really does go a long way. I'm just going to pop a bit of extra water in there to give me a very watery mix. My line is down here, and because I've got quite strong blacks in here and quite strong pencil lines actually, I'm just going to see where this goes in terms of lightness. Yeah, it's fine. What I'm going to do is just mark out the darkest blacks initially over this side. So I'm looking at the reference photo and I'm looking at where those darkest colours are. But what I want to do, and this again is different to how I've done it before, is I'm going to come in with pure pigment. I've put that down, and then I'm going to put some real dark blacks on here. I'm changing it up a little bit. So I'm just kind of testing that out, and yeah, it's about right, that's good. So I'm literally going to put those darkest bits down first. And this is something I haven't done this way. Well, I haven't done it this way around before. to be very careful of going over that line, because if I do with this being pure ink, that's going to not be removed very easily. So I'm going in the direction of the tiger's fur. I was doing the lighter mix on top of that, but I may as well just continue to pop this darker mix down. Now I could at this point actually use my dip pen. I'm not going to, but if you did have a dip pen on the go, this might be a good time to use it. £11 AM. Oh, happy 43rd anniversary. Wow. That's a good anniversary to get to, isn't it? Now all the Inktobers before, I've built the colour up and I've done these details last. The beauty of ink over watercolour, there's lots of positives to use ink over watercolour, by the way, but one of them is it dries permanent. Now that could be a disadvantage, of course. I'm just looking actually at the whiskers, and I could have done those with masking fluid today. Oh, I'll put them in white after. I'm not going to work around the whiskers. Anyway, because it dries permanent, you can come in with lighter colours and it won't pick up the black like it would on watercolour. So if I put, say, a Payne's grey or a dark colour, and then I started painting light, I would actually pick up that colour, because watercolour it turns back into watercolour the moment water touches it. So I'm just looking at my reference photo and just making some of those marks as necessary. Topping that brush up. If you remember, when I did this, I didn't do all of the black markings. I said that some of them I would make as we went along. Just what I'm doing now. My brush up. So I'm still going in the direction largely of the fur, but these pieces here have quite a solid centre. So if I do this smaller than I can see on my pencil lines, and there's room just to put a few dilution of strokes there. There we go. So I'm going to do the same both sides. I'm going to do the dark first. I just keep looking back and forth to the reference photo. Not have to get an exact. This isn't a realistic, you know, hyper-realistic painting or anything like that. Once we pass this, we'll be a bit looser. I'm just working methodically down the page. That's good. Just checking where I am. Doing well so far, we're not going over the edge. Great. So what I like about these brushes, they got an amazing ability to just do really, really fine detail. It's got such a delicate tip, but you know, you can also do thicker work. Hello, Jade. How are you? As it's 4:30 here, I might start losing the light, so I may have to get up and put my daylight lamps on. Hopefully I won't disturb you too much. Great. Well, it's kind of a hint of a that one goes there, that's fine, good. That looks quite effective just by itself. Right, I'm just going to mix this. Which one's the weaker one? That one. Sure. So now I'm just going to use that really weak mix to plot out. Is that a really weak mix, or do I need to water it down more? Let's water that down. Okay. I'm going to put this mix. No, too dark. Come on. More water, more. Going to put this down. That's better. Where all of the orange is. And when I say orange, I mean there's not much on this little bit. In fact, that can still go down even further. What I have done on the last couple of pieces is I've gone too dark on this side. So I don't want to do that. And I'm also going to soften out the edges. By using just a damp brush. So again, damp brush. Keep rinsing it off so it doesn't bleed too much into the area I want to leave white. Just seeing where this goes. And again, a soft brush, damp brush. Blend in those edges, and that's to stop this from drying with a hard edge. I'm just doing the orange bits for now. I have got more to do on this paw and darken it, but that's to do with shadow rather than colouring. And as I've already mentioned in a previous video, that is sometimes a bit of a problem when you're doing monotone paintings. To get the illusion of shadow and darker markings, sometimes when they are the same shade, can be a little bit difficult. So that basically is the orange markings. Now I'm going to go over them again, starting from the top. The ones at the top are darker. I'm just going to bring out some of that fur. Rather than go too dark from the beginning, I'm going to use a bit of layering, because some of the white will need some shading, and if I shade it quite lightly, it's actually just going to look like the area I've just done. so you won't actually get the illusion of shading on white fur. So it's going to have 3 layers. Again, soft brush. I keep saying soft brush. It is a soft brush, yes, but I actually mean damp brush. Amazing what babble you come out with when you're concentrating. Damp brush. Jade not feeling very well. Oh, sorry to hear that, Jade. Used to pain. Well, you know, I read something really interesting about pain recently, and that's chronic pain actually can make you feel more pain, not less pain. So you might think you're getting used to it, but actually your body and brain receives